Now that we are in game, let's quickly look at the movement and UI of the game. Now, I am on mouse and keyboard, so I will be talking about the mouse and keyboard movement system. So by default, the movement of this game is W to move forward, S to move backward, and Q and E to strafe left and strafe right. Now, I know that's not the standard movement keybind. The standard movement keybind is WASD, but A and D is used to turn your character. So how do you change that? Just simply press escape, go find the keybind option, and here you can see the strafe left and strafe right option on the very first tab. Simply press the button you want to use. The key might already be assigned to a different function, but it's none. But for this one, there's nothing to worry about. Just simply press OK. For right, we do the same. Just D. The D is assigned. And now that we have changed the turn left and turn right, we're just gonna go ahead and use Q and E, what we just swapped it with. Now click on apply, and voila. Now WASD is the standard movement, space to jump, and Q and E to turn left and turn right, if you feel lazy on using your mouse. Now when it comes to mouse, you can simply left click and drag, turn your camera. It won't turn your character, but it will turn your camera. So you can look like I'm looking at the person behind me, but my character is still looking toward this person. But if you want to change, if you want to turn your character, just simply, instead of left clicking, right click and drag. Now this will turn your character. Now you're looking at this character, this person, and your character is looking at this person as well. For movement, you can just simply hold right click and move. While pressing W, it will also turn your character. Let's look at the UI. On the bottom left, you have the chat menu. This black box looking part here. You can increase the size of it by just simply left clicking and dragging this top part. If you want to say something, just simply click on this text bar or just press enter to open it. Once the bar starts to flash, it means now whatever you type will be there. You can, and if you just simply click off of it or press enter again to deselect it. By default, it will say save. So by default, if I were to type something, let's say I say hi, it will show in white, and anyone who's near me, they will be able to see it. But if you click on this small chat bubble to its left, you can see there are more options. Tell is basically a personal DM to a certain person. You have to click on them. Say is, as I said, anyone who's near you. Party, whenever you're in a party, if you select this and then type something, everyone in your party will be able to see it, but no one else. When you're in alliance group, which is multiple parties together, that's what we call an alliance in this game. That's, if you type something, everyone in the alliance will be able to see it. Yell is basically like say, but it will appear in red. Shout is same, it's basically what you say, but it will appear in orange. Free company is similar to guilds or clans in other games. In this game, they are called free company. So yeah, if you're in a free company and if you type something here, everyone in the free company will see it. This is your general tab. That's the general tab. This is the battle tab. So whenever you're in a battle, what's happening, like how much damage you're taking, how much damage you're doing, it will appear here. And event is usually when you're doing a quest or you're in a cutscene scenario, whatever the NPC is saying will appear in this bar. So if in the general tab, everything will appear, but if it's going too fast because of people talking near you, if you just click on it, the quest NPC's speeches will appear here. You can change the settings from here, but they are super messy, and let's just not go into this complex stuff. Oh, and remember when I said you can change your movement anytime, this is where you can, this is how fast you can change. So just simply click on this settings icon and mouse gamepad mode, mouse and keyboard mode, gamepad mode, mouse and keyboard mode. That is that easy. Now let's come to the middle of our screen. If you can see this, this is called hotbar. This is where your spells and abilities will appear, or you can assign a specific button to a specific skill, and you can use them to cast your spells or abilities. They are assigned to a different number on your keyboard because we are on mouse and keyboard, and you can reassign the keybinds just as easily. Just simply press escape, keybinds, and you see this hotbar, and now you can change your hotbar numbers however you want. Right below the hotbar, you have your HP and your MP. HP is your health and MP is your mana point. HP is, well, that's what keeps you alive, and MP is what you use to cast your spells and abilities. Different classes use different things. Like for example, the one ability I have doesn't really use any MP, but I might get some in the future which will use MP. Right below our HP and MP, we have our experience bar. Now remember, you can change your classes at any time you want, so your character doesn't really have an experience bar. The experience bar you have belongs to the class you have. So right now I have the archer class, so this experience bar belongs to the archer class. If I were to switch to a different class, and depending on whatever level that class is on, it will show me that class's experience bar. To the top right corner, the first word you see is the current world you're in. As you just entered the game, it will mostly be your home world. If you have a mail, it will appear right next to it. Now right next to it is your network, which is how much data you're sending and receiving. Right next to it is the time. Now if it will show you the local time, so you don't have to alt tab or check your phone all the time if you want to check your time, but you still will, but it's weird. If you click on it again, it will show you the server time. This is the same for everyone in that certain server. If you click on it again, it will show you the Erzia time. Erzia time is for collecting material, because once you go into crafting, there are certain materials that will only appear on a certain Erzia time of that server. So that's where the Erzia time comes in. But you can keep it as whichever time you want to follow. Right below it is our minimap. This blue arrow represents you, so this is where you're looking. If you turn your character, it will show you, the arrow will turn as well, because, well, that is you. It will show you where you're facing and the quests that are available near you. You can click on it to open up your map, or simply press M to close and open your map. It will show you the quests that are available, the NPC and the crystals that are in the area. Now another tip, if you see this plus and minus icon, you can zoom in and zoom out on the minimap if you want, or you can just simply use your scroll mouse to zoom in and zoom out. That's way faster and way easier instead of using plus and minus. The X and Y right below the minimap represents your axis, or X-axis and Y-axis, where you are. If you open your map, you can see whenever you hover your mouse over, you can see on the top right, it will show you which axis you are pointing your mouse at. It is important to find different NPCs, quests, or even different items and mobs in the open world when you will venture into bigger areas. So just keep that in mind. Next is the bottom right part. Now the first box you see with some green dot, if you click on it, it will open the character menu. It will show the items you have equipped on your character, and your HP, MP, and your stats. But we're just starting out, so we don't really have to worry about the stats just yet. Now If you want to change any of the items you have equipped, if you just simply click on it, it will open up the armory chest. Armory chest, whenever you kill a mob, finish a quest, finish a dungeon or a raid, and you get an item, by default they will put that certain item in your armory chest. For example, this is your weapon bar. All your weapon you collect will be put here. This is your headpiece, chest piece, hand, leg, feet, offhand item, trinkets, necklace, bracelets, rings, and soul crystals. What are soul crystals, you ask? You'll find that out real quick. Now, if you want to quickly equip that item, just simply, you can open your armory chest and manually click and drag, or just left or just right click to equip it. But if you want to do it quickly, click on recommended gear. The game will tell you, yes, you have a better item in your inventory, and just simply click equip. It will automatically equip. Right now I only have one ring that I wasn't equipped, so there you go, it automatically equipped it. So this is a very important button, so just remember this. Second tab, we have profile. This is mostly for role-playing purposes. Your name, title. As you play more game, the more you will acquire more titles. This is your race, clan, gender, city, state, birth date, guardian name, all that. Class and jobs. This is where the class and jobs that are available in the game will show you. The first tab is Disciple of War and Disciple of Magic. You can see all the classes that are available in the game and you have unlocked. Right now we only have unlocked Archer on this character, so yeah, that's not grayed out. Everything else is grayed out. This and the next tab is for Disciple of Hand and Disciple of Land. These are your crafting classes. The next 4 boxes are your inventory. If you click on them, it will open up your normal inventory. So let's say you killed the mob and the mob dropped an item. It will automatically go to your inventory and it will appear here. The 1, 2, 4 is your inventory. Any item you acquire will be put here. The 5th tab is your crystals. They are related to crafting. And the 6th bar is your called key items. This is where your special quest items will be put in, so they won't take space in your inventory, nor you will be able to delete them by mistake. You can just simply click on it and go to your inventory. Now you can click on these boxes to open up that certain backpack, if you may, or you just simply press I to open and close this inventory. Right below your inventory space, there are a bunch of red dot buttons. You can just go through them, see what they do. Take your time on this, because it is more fun when you explore something on your own. And these are not that important as you are just starting out, so I'm not gonna go into super detail. But there are few important ones I will mention. Is all the way to the left red dot is character. You click on the character and you click on this action traits, or just you can simply press P to open it. The first actions is the spells and abilities you have unlocked or you will unlock in the future as you level up. This is your role abilities. That as I mentioned before, there are 3 roles: tank, DPS, and heal. Role abilities, these are traits. Your traits are basically your passive. And in the general tab, I want you to remember this limit break, because once you go into duties, and which are basically dungeons and raid, this is going to be one of the most important ability depending on what class you are using. So just know that this is where the limit break button is. I was having a hard time finding it when I first started. And the second most important button is the social one. If you click on it, it will give you access to the emotes menu. This is where you can click on emotes. For example, you can dance, thumbs up someone, emote, or just simply smile. No, sorry, this is smile. That was green. You can switch through. You can see all the emotes you have access to. You will get more emotes in the future from different quests, different NPCs, or maybe just buy them from the shop. And the last one is system, which is the same as pressing escape. They are basically the same menu. Right below the red dots, there is your currency. In Final Fantasy XIV, or in the world of Eorzea, if you will, the general currency is gil. Now if you click on it, it will show you all the currencies you have. There are multiple currencies, but don't worry, they're not that confusing. You will slowly unlock them, you will slowly know what they do. You won't mix them up, trust me. So yeah, that is all about the UI, the important stuff about the UI. Now, let's get started with questing. NPCs with that exclamation mark will have a quest for you. To accept the quest, simply walk toward them and right-click to interact. If they have a quest, the quest window will pop up and you simply click accept. Now this is your first quest, so I highly recommend you read through all this and see what the NPC is asking you to do for immersion purposes. Now, to navigate where you need to go next after accepting a quest, let me walk you through this. If you look at top left of your screen, you see a white box with a quest name. That is your main scenario quest, which you will be following most of your playthrough. If you click on it, it will show you on the map where the quest requires you to go next on the map. If you remember, I said before, this blue marker is you. And this icon means the continuation of your current quest. You can also see that on your minimap. If you're zoomed in, you can see the quest mark will be marked with an arrow indicating which direction you need to go. If you zoom out, and if you're close enough, it will show you the exact location where the NPC or the quest objective is. The quest you have ongoing will also appear on the right of your screen. If you simply click on it, it will give you the quest description by opening your journal. Now if you click on the map, it will show you where the quest is on the map. So now that we know this is where we need to go, and our arrow indicates it is right in front of us, so now let's go. Once you reach the NPC, simply right click on him to interact with him again and do whatever you are asked to do. In this case, we are asked to use the left to go up, and this NPC is with the quest mark, but it's green and tick. That means your quest is done, and now you can hand it over to him. Now watch the cutscene for, again, immersion purposes, and I do highly suggest, because you are just starting out the game, so it will be better if you just read through the quest. Now once you're done handing it over, the game will give you some instruction, and then it will finally introduce you to the main scenario quest. Remember this icon. This icon indicates your main scenario quest. It will always be available on the white box, but if you are still confused, you can see this over the NPC's head, and that mark indicates the main scenario quest. There will be other quests that are the same as the one we saw before, but in blue. Those are special quests. They usually give you something important in return for completing those quests, so it is good to do those quests alongside your main scenario quest. Now let's continue our main scenario quest. Let's just talk to this guy. The guy will give you some basic instruction about your UI and navigation. Now he asks you to do 3 different tasks. Now to navigate, simply open your map. You can see where the game is asking you to go. If your quest destination is not on the current part of the map you are on, it will appear on the map just like this. Right on the path that you can take to go to the map your destination is, it will appear like this. So whenever you see this, that means there is a path you can take to go to the next part of the map where your quest destination is. One thing about this map though, if you are starting in Limsa, when you first accept your second main scenario quest, or first, depending on how you look at it, don't forget to talk to this Nina and take this small side quest. If you are here, you have to take this quest in order to leave this area. Similar to before, just navigate through the map. Take your time. There's no need to rush. You are just starting out, and learning is part of the game. Now, after using the lift again, you will be in the lower decks. Your first quest objective is this side quest objective is to collect some herbs that for some reason are just lying on the ground. Just simply walk toward them and right click to interact, and your character will automatically collect them. This is the game teaching you navigation, interaction, and kind of helping you toward your main scenario quest goal. Once you're done collecting all the herbs that the quest asks you to, your quest is ready to hand over. You just simply walk toward this guy, right click to interact, and now remember I told you about the key item inventory? Now your quest items were stored in that key item inventory, so just simply right click and hand over, or you can drag and hand over. Let's continue with our main scenario quest. This is called Aetheryte Crystal. This works as teleporter in Final Fantasy XIV. To use them, you have to attune with them. To attune with them, just simply walk toward them and interact. When you're attuned with it, the game will tell you you're attuned, and to the game's credit, they will tell you what these Aetheryte crystals do. Since I already know and I am telling you guys what they do, so I'm just gonna skip the quest. If you look at my bottom hotbar, the second from the right, there is an ability called Return. So doesn't matter where you are in the world, if you click it, it will return you to this Aetheryte crystal. Or if you die in the open world, you will also return to this very Aetheryte crystal. This is your very own. This is basically your home crystal or hometown, however you want to call it. Now, before we continue, let me tell you something beforehand. Remember, I was very clear about mentioning which is your main scenario quest, which is the quest that is named in the white box. top left. But if you look below the main scenario quest, you see there's a small pop-up. That pop-up is your class quest. Yes, different classes have their respective class quests. You have to do them in order to gain special spells and to progress through your personal journey on your class quest. Class quests are different from your main scenario quest. You have to do them if you want access to all of your spells. So keep that in mind, and whenever a class quest is available, my suggestion is do them as soon as possible. Because if you don't, there might be a spell at your level that is available to you, but you can't use it because you haven't done your class quest. If you just click on that pop-up, it will show you where exactly you need to go to accept the quest. Continue with your main scenario quest. Simply click on the objective you want to do next. It will show you where you need to go on the map and navigate it toward it. Here, this NPC needs us to hand over this chest, so we just drag it and hand over. We're gonna skip this again, but again I suggest you to read through this because they probably are telling you something important. So she's here. When you first interact with her, it will finish the objective of your main scenario quest, but as you can see, we still have our class quest as the pop-up, and she also has a quest to give us. So yes, it did finish our main scenario quest, but it did not finish our class quest. So we're just simply gonna talk to her again to accept our class quest. She will ask you if you really want to take this class. Just simply press yes and continue. Now, after accepting the first class quest, they will ask you to prove yourselves by slaying some mobs. Oh, another thing, Ethernet shards. Remember the big crystal we just attuned with? In every major cities, there are these small Etherite shards. You can use them to teleport across the main cities or towns faster. You just simply walk toward them and attune with them to be able to use them. Now, once you are done attuning with them, simply right click, it will open up the map, and then you will be able to teleport to another Ethernet shard or Etherite crystal. But first you have to be attuned with them. If you are not attuned, you won't be able to teleport to that particular Ethernet shard. But we did attune with the Etherite crystal, so we're just going to teleport there. Now that we're here, again, the navigation, because it appeared like that, that means it's on the other map that we can go toward using these pathways. So we're just going to take this, and now we're up here. While we're here, we might as well attune with the Ethernet shard for fast movement for the future. Now that we're done, we hand over the quest. And what's this? Why is the main scenario quest red? Whenever a quest is red, that means there's a prerequisite you need to fulfill to continue that particular quest line. In this case, it's our main scenario quest line. So if you want to know what the prerequisite is, just simply click on it and open the tab. It will tell you what you need to do. In this case, the main scenario quest is asking us to reach level 4. If this is your fresh account, you will be level 4 by now. But because this is not a fresh account for me, I don't have the experience buff the new accounts get, so that I'm not level 4 yet. But no worries, we still have our class quest we need to do, so we will get our level. We know we need to slay some mobs, but how do we know where to go? Like before, if you click on the objective, it will show you on the map where you need to go. But this look of the map might not be familiar to you. So close the window, press M to open the normal map that you have been using till now, then click on this arrow on the top left corner. You'll see the map will zoom out a little and it will give you the big picture of the map. The map is pretty big, trust me. And to zoom in, just simply click on the name and it will zoom in on that particular map that you are clicking on. So we need to go to Lower Lanoska, to that particular area, but we are in Limsa Laminza. So how do we go there? You can see there's a path there, but how do we know how to get that path? If that particular city has different levels, whichever level you are on will be highlighted. Right now we are in the lower decks. That's why the lower decks is highlighted. But we need to be on that grayed out part to be able to take the pathway for our destination area. So how do we go there? Just simply change the level. We are in the lower deck, so we are going to take the stairs again to get on the upper deck. Now that we are on the upper deck, we have access to the pathways, so we're just simply going to run. On our way, we will attune with all the crystals we see for the future. Now the game will give you some instruction about combat. Arrange the spells however you see fit. The mobs that have this mark over their head are your quest target. So just simply left click on them and start casting your damaging spell to do damage. You can simply left click to target the mob or press tab to cycle through all the targets that are available on your screen. But tab targeting is a bit weird, so whenever you're on the open world, it is better to just simply left click on them to select the target you want to target. That big red circle means the mobs you are looking for, or the mobs that are your target, are probably in that red area. Now with that, we have reached level 4 and also finished our class quest. Now we can go back and hand over our class quest and take our main scenario quest as well, but what we're going to do, we're going to try to reach level 5. If you are on a new account, you're probably level 5 by now, but if you're not, just kill some more mobs, get used to the combat. The reason I'm asking, also be careful not hitting these level 12 mobs because they're just gonna smack you to death. Try to fight the mobs that are around your level. The reason I am asking you to level your character or level your class to level 5 is because another class quest will be available at level 5, and you might as well get to level 5 so you can take that class quest as soon as you hand over your current class quest. And with that, we have reached level 5. The game will tell you there is a quest available, so you're actually done. While we are on our way back, let me introduce you to the fate system. Fates are randomly generated events on the map that usually requires you to kill certain amount of mobs or gather some stuff. If you are able to successfully complete them, they will reward you with some juicy experience points and some seals that we will be learning at a later date. For this fate, it's asking us to kill a high level mob. Well, with that, we have successfully finished our fate. For now, it only rewarded us experience and gil, but once we unlock the seals, we will start getting those as well. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention while I was introducing the UI system. If you press escape and go to your HUD layout, you can see that you can completely customize your HUD however you like. But I highly recommend you as a new player, do not mess with these stuff just yet. Get used to the game, learn what does what, and then you can start customizing them however you feel comfortable. So for now, just know that it does exist, and yes, you can change how your game looks on your screen. Let's hand it over, and now the game will introduce you to the hunting log. Hunting log is basically just a log system that asks you to kill a certain amount of mobs on that particular class. It will reward you with experience points for killing those mobs. They're not much to worry about just yet, but once we unlock the grand companies, then the hunting log can be a good way to earn seals. And as I mentioned, our next class quest is available, so just quickly accept it. It asks us to kill some more enemies, but before we go there, let's just accept our main scenario quest. Now that we are level 5, our main scenario quest is available to us again, so just simply walk toward them and accept the quest. Now let's talk about tracking your quests. By that, what I mean is what quests you have done so far and what quests you are on at the moment. If you already know that the quest you are on right now appears to the right of your screen, but when you get more than 5 or 6 quests running at the same time, there might not be enough space on your screen to show them all, so some of them will be hidden. To see what quest you are on right now, simply press J on your keyboard to open your journal. If you're not on keyboard and mouse, click on Duty, the second red button from the left, character Duty, and here you will see the tab Journal. It will open up your journal. Here you can see all the quests that you are on right now, your main scenario quest, your class quest, and if you are on any side quest, it will also show right here. To see what quest you have already completed, simply click on this Complete tab. It will show you what quest you have completed so far. The first 2 tabs is for the main scenario quest. The first one is from A Realm Reborn to Shadowbringers, and the second one is for Endwalker. For now, we have only completed 1 main scenario quest because the very first quest was just an introduction to the game. So far we have only completed 1 main scenario quest, and it was the level 1 quest. And that's why there's only 1 quest it shows completed. You can ignore all these quests for now and simply click on 3rd tab from the right, which says Class and Job Quest. It might not show any quest done because it probably will be in the Disciples of War quest tab, but we are Disciples of Magic because we are a caster. So just to see what quest you have done in Disciples of Magic, simply click on the tab. It will give you the options, select Disciples of Magic quest, and now you can see this class quest you have done so far. Now if you remember, at the start I told you guys each class have their own levels. So does that mean your character doesn't have any level? No, your character does have their own level, but it doesn't show like an experience bar to the bottom. To know which level your character is, you need to look at your main scenario quest level, which you can see from the journal. Right now our main scenario quest level is 4. In other words, if someone asks you what's your character's level, this is basically what they are asking for. In the future, if you keep playing and you watch other guide videos, and if someone says that you need to be a certain level, let's say you need to be level 15, you need to be level 20, 30, 60 to unlock something, they're not just talking about your class quest. Of course you need to be at that level on at least one class so you can take the quest, but more often than not, your main scenario quest level or your character's level also needs to be above or at least on that level. So yes, you have to keep track of both of these, your class level and your main scenario quest level. They are both important and it might get confusing, so I thought I should mention it. And with that, I believe you should be good with questing in Final Fantasy XIV. In the next part, we will start from level 15, because that is when you will unlock your duty, aka dungeons of Final Fantasy XIV. And when I say level 15, I am talking about your main scenario quest level, level 15, not just your class level, level 15. So, if you enjoyed the video and learned something as a new player, please consider liking the video. And if you are a veteran player and you think this video is informative enough for your friend who might be new to Final Fantasy XIV, please share the video to them. I would like to see more people trying out this game, especially the free trial, because I wholeheartedly believe it's at least worth a try. And I promise I will put out the next part as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.